Hello and welcome to tonight's game. We are live from Dixon Field on the sports complex of Queens University of Charlotte. I'm Hunter Banks, and joining me is Mitch Samford. Got some clouds in the sky tonight, but weather should hold off for us tonight, Mitch.
Hopefully knock the temperature down a little bit. Good breeze blowing through right now. Guys can get out and enjoy the game, play free, not have to worry too much about the heat because it was pretty toasty here in Charlotte earlier today, but I think we're going to be in good shape here as long as the clouds don't bring any thunder or lightning with them.
Going to run through the starting lineups for you tonight. First for Sac Republic. In goal is Jake Gleason. In defense, Imra Clementa, Nemanja Vukovic, Mickey Daly, Jack Avician. In midfield, Max Alvarez, Octavio Guzman, Ivan Merkovic, and Tommy Thompson. And the forwards are Chad Bertolome and Tommy Stewart. And the Republic are coached by former U.S. national team star Preki. And now for the Eagles, in goal is Alec Can. The defense is Bilal Duckett, J.J. Greer, Tulani Ibekunle, Johnny Leathers. The midfield is Juan Guzman, Fred Sacheri, Ben Noonan, Jorge Herrera. And the forwards are Zach Boggs and Wells Thompson. And the Eagles are coached by Mark Steffens. It's a new look for the Eagles tonight. Ben Noonan has played fullback all year until tonight, playing probably going to be playing left.
Yeah, he and Herrera will be the two wide midfielders, more than likely. Here, Noonan on the left, Herrera on the right, with Boggs stretching the field and Wells Thompson working underneath him. Being active as we saw him last weekend when we played Dayton here at home. Thompson real active, trying to stretch the defense. A lot of lateral runs across the field. So two teams that played on Saturday and will turn around and play again on Thursday. Little rotation in the lineup to keep legs as we get to the second half, the home stretch of the season. Trying to keep guys rested and on the field. So few new faces in the lineups for both sides, rotating players through from Saturday night. Sacramento coming off of a 2-1 loss to Richmond on Saturday, in which they were ahead in the second half. And 2 minutes after taking the lead, though, were equalized by Matthew Delicott.
And deflection off of the referee, falling to Stewart's feet, and he takes a shot from far out. Going to be a goal kick for Alec Can, who's back in goal after Brock Duckworth started and recorded a clean sheet Saturday against the Battery. As Can booms this one into the midfield. Sacheri winning the aerial battle. Sacheri battling with Guzman there. That'll be a matchup to watch. And that's going to be Sacramento's Guzman, not Juan Guzman for the Eagles.
But from the way the teams have set up here to start the game, they're going to be around each other a good bit tonight, battling it out in the center of the midfield. So Greer wins that header. And Charlotte's able to maintain possession.
And now Ibekunle trying to find Noonan, unable to connect. And now all the way back to Jake Gleason, who's on loan to Sacramento from Portland Timbers, a member of the New Zealand national team. Now Guzman, he's going to be called for the handball.
And this surface here at Queens Sports Complex is tricky even for players that have played on it a lot. But there's going to be some odd bounces off of the turf. And as you saw there, Guzman having to handle a ball that started bouncing on him. Pops up, hits his hand. Can potentially be something Charlotte could take advantage of early on.
And Stewart being dispossessed by Sacheri. He goes over to Herrera. Bad first touch. Now back to Juan Guzman. Over to Ibekunle. Ibekunle in to Sacheri. Sacheri trying to play it forward to Newnham. But that was Clementa coming up with the interception. Now back to Clementa again. Sacheri winning that one away, but going to be called for the handball.
Merkovich convinced that he got it off his shoulder.
Alvarez. Now Daly. Into Alvarez. Dispossessed now Boggs. Wells Thompson. And miscommunication there. But Juan Guzman comes up with it for the Eagles. And that's going to ricochet off of Newnham for the Sac Republic throw-in.
And you see Charlotte here pressing on this throw-in deep in the Sac Republic end. Going to play a bit of high pressure here, press up the field, try and win this ball back.
Ibekunle sending it forward. And Gleason going to track over and collect it. No trouble for him.
Gleason's big boy, man, back there. He's got some imposing size, wingspan. And you'll see here, this is the center back for the Republic with the ball out all the way wide on the touchline. So what Sac Republic will do is spread their two center backs out and have number 18 Merkovich from the midfield drop back in, and that'll allow them to release the outside backs further up the pitch. So Avesian and Clementa, the two outside backs, will try and get further up the field. So possibly in transition, if you can find the forwards quickly while the center backs are spread apart, you can get in behind them, but it'll allow the Republic to get more numbers down the sidelines. And you'll see the Eagles do a similar thing with Leathers and Ibekunle getting around the outsides.
And Sacheri and Bartolome getting tangled up there. And speaking of Ibekunle, on the wings, and it goes in. Now Sacheri. And then that's going to be cut off. Fed into Merkovich.
It's 2 or 3 early through balls that Charlotte's hit that have been under hit, trying to get the ball out to the wings and leaving it short, allowing Merkovich to step in and intercept.
Clementa to take the throw in. Newnham winning it. Now Sacheri. Boggs trying to feed it back to Sacheri, but cut away. Guzman, now Stewart. Duckett and Greer combining. It looks like Greer and Stewart got a little banged up, bumped noggins, so to speak.
Yeah, Greer still down.
And that's going to be cleared out so that they can check on J.J. Greer.
Greer stepping into the lineup on Saturday against Charleston to take the place of Matt Gold. Helping the team get a shutout and 0-0 draw down at Blackballed Stadium, so secures his spot to in the lineup again.
Hopefully
he can carry on, but you do have Matt Gold, who's started a lot of games the last 2 seasons for the Eagles on the bench if need be. But Greer looks like he's going to be good to go.
That's going to find its way all the way back to Can. Black Belt Stadium, one of the most imposing stadiums in USL Pro. And when they have a crowd of 4,000 plus on hand, not the easiest game to come in and make your first start of the year.
I think the coaches were pretty pleased with what Greer brought, though, in that match. He's very good in the air. He's a good athlete. And I felt like Charleston were going to try and put some balls in behind him, create opportunities to put service in the box, and Greer gives them an excellent aerial defender there in the center of the defense.
So Cherry feeding it to Greer's backline mate, Duckett. And he was trying to find Ibekunle, but Ibekunle is called offside.
There you see an outside defender, an outside back being called offsides in that case. Both teams trying to open things up, pinch the outside midfielders, and allow room for the backs to overlap.
Markovic up to take the throw in. Over to Clementa. There's Stewart. Now Alvarez. And Stewart racing on, and it finds the back of the net. A misplay from the Charlotte Eagles gives Sac Republic FC an early lead in the 10th minute.
Looked like a deflection on the through ball. Fell right into the path of Stewart. Had Duckett moving one way for the initial pass, and the touch caught him moving the wrong way, and Stewart was able to run onto it. And looked like Kahn had taken most of the goal away, had really given him little to shoot at, and he calmly put it right through the 5-hole. Nutmegged Kahn. Composed finish. Rolls it right into the far side net. 1-0 Republic.
Now Guzman trying to get things started. Over to Noonan. Sacheri. Herrera through pass cut off by Daly. And now Sac Republic trying to counter. Alvarez dancing around Herrera and Duckett with the back pass to Can.
Tell you what, that goal really came out of nothing. Neither team had up to that point created much work for either keeper or even either back line.
Another back pass to Can. And this time he mishandles it. But Duckett corrals it. Now Ibekunle. Noonan. Trying to send this one forward for Boggs. And Gleason's going to let it roll out for a goal kick.
You want Noonan, if he's going to be playing that ball in, to be hitting that ball from about 10, 15 yards further up the field. That's from a little bit deeper position than you'd like to be getting service into the forwards. Neither team, despite the fact that Sacramento's gotten a goal, neither team's really developed a ton of rhythm. Neither team's really felt comfortable in possession on the ball. Well done by Avesian to keep that ball in play.
Now Sacheri trying to feed it up to Boggs. A nice seal out from Daly, and that's going to be an Eagles throw in. Daly with the seal out, Vukovic with the clearance. Guzman intercepting that. And then the Eagles, Guzman intercepts that. And that's going to be a foul. Called on Juan Guzman as advantage failed to develop. Clementa quickly takes it back to Daly.
Guzman, Charlotte's Guzman, Juan Guzman. Good in possession. Helps the team keep the ball. Underrated as a defender. He had a uncharacteristic poor touch there and just pounced on the tackle to try and recover the ball again.
Leathers now trying to slot one through to Wells Thompson, but cut off. Now Octavio Guzman. Clementa back to Daly. Vukovic. Wells Thompson and Vukovic. Nicely done from Vukovic to keep that one in. And Avician managing to slip by. Now Octavio Guzman.
Wow, really well done by Sacramento there to get out of that tight space.
Alvarez moving forward. And it's going to be a foul called on Alvarez.
Well defended by Bakunle. Alvarez, I think, a little unfortunate to have been called for the foul there, but aggressive run by him at the back line. He had Clementa overlapping him to the right. Could have laid it off for a service, but took his chances going 1v1 on the last defender.
And a foul called on Bilal Duckett as he and Stewart collided. Markovic now. Octavio Guzman. Over to Vukovic. Stewart, Octavio Guzman. Now Boggs with it for the Eagles, moving forward. And losing track of the ball and being dispossessed by Clementa. Good defending from Clementa there. And then that's going to be out of bounds. Bad clearance from Gleason. Throw in quickly taken to Ibakunle. He goes back to Greer. Guzman trying to head it forward. Only man in the vicinity was Zach Boggs, and he was offsides. Now Markovic.
Yeah, Sacramento seems to have some clear ideas on how they want to get the ball into Stewart's feet up top. Bartolome try and find those two guys in the windows of space between the back line and the midfield of the Eagles, and then have runners running off of that. Get it, hold it up, and lay it off. Charlotte's still struggling to figure out how they're going to connect into Thompson and Boggs.
Speaking of Thompson, Wells Thompson. Back to Ibakunle, now Juan Guzman. All the way back to J.J. Greer. And now all the way back to Alec Can. Ibakunle winning the aerial battle, finding Wells Thompson. Now Sacheri. And he takes a long shot, and that's not really any trouble for Jake Gleason.
That ball needs to go wide to Herrera. You get that ball wide to Herrera, and you've got excellent server of the ball in space on the right side with Thompson, Boggs, and Newnham all getting into the box.
Can distributing over to Duckett. Juan Guzman back to Ibakundle. J.J. Greer. And it's going to be a foul called on Merkovich.
Part of the reason that Greer got in trouble there was Cherry came back to get the ball in the same line that Greer was and brought his defender back in there.
Now Guzman. Alvarez defending him. Greer trying to connect with Johnny Leathers, but no connection to be made out of bounds. Throw in quickly taken. Bartolome. Now Clementa. He goes all the way back to Gleason.
And you can tell Sacramento here, second game of the road trip. They've got the lead on the road. They're content with it. They're just going to try and keep the ball a little bit, not force things. Don't seem to be in too big of a hurry.
Bartolome. Now Stewart. Avician. And just sloppy play all around. Saccheri. Back to Duckett, and his header finds its way to Alvarez's feet. Alvarez goes to Clementa on the wing. And his cross, well defended by Ibakundle. But Sac Republic immediately gained possession back. Now Merkovich. Octavio Guzman. Now Clementa. Merkovich. Over to Avician. Merkovich switches up play to Clementa.
Sacramento really starting to get a foothold on the game now. Got Charlotte sitting really deep. Everybody but Boggs within 30 yards of the goal. They really mix up the runs that come in. They'll just swing it back and forth here. And then Bartolome, Stewart, Thompson, these guys all mix in and find windows between the midfield. And then the Charlotte back line unable to connect out of pressure, win the ball, but then concede possession right back.
Saccheri now chipping it forward for Boggs. Boggs tracking it down. Got Herrera in the wing, crosses it in, and poked out of danger by Daly. Dangerous opportunity there.
And that's a case where Sacramento had Charlotte pinned in so deep with that spell of possession that even though Boggs got into a good spot, it was really only Saccheri and Herrera that were anywhere in the vicinity of being able to get onto what ended up being a good cross, a good opportunity.
Thompson. Feeding it back to Juan Guzman. He goes over to Greer.
Now Charlotte will see if they can create some numbers in the attack. Pin Sacramento back in a little bit.
Leathers feeding it forward to Herrera. And that's going to be a foul on Herrera as he was holding up Tommy Thompson. Back to Gleason, who has a few words for his defense.
And Merkovich there, who turned into pressure. Like we said, when those center backs split, the holding midfielder is going to come back in and get the ball, and he's really got to be smart with his possession there. He turned into Sekcheri's tackle. If that ball deflects more kindly, Sekcheri could be in on goal one-on-one with Gleason.
Now over to Avician. Stewart. Vukovic. Octavio Guzman. Now Clementa. Alvarez slipping it into Bartolome, but Bartolome unable to get onto it.
And Charlotte giving the ball away a little too easily there, unable to maintain possession. Khan trying to hit an early ball out. Doesn't get all of it. And you're right back in the same position, getting pinned in by the Republic as they get numbers forward in the attack.
Now Duckett for Charlotte. Bringing it forward for Wells Thompson. Clementa and Daly defending. And that's going to be a foul called on Clementa. Going to be a dangerous area just outside the box, about 5 yards outside the box. Quickly taken.
And the ref saying that the ball wasn't played from the spot where the foul occurred. Quick heads-up play from Sekcheri and Guzman, though, trying to get him in behind the defense early.
But now Jorge Herrera is going to step up and try to curl this one in. Be interesting to see if he tries to connect with Duckett or Greer, one of the big bodies, or if he's just going to try to take a shot on goal. And he takes a shot on, and it's saved by Gleason. So Herrera's going to trot over and take a corner.
And Sekcheri was in position, tried to get just a little deflection, was able to distract Gleason enough to keep him from making a clean save, had to push it wide. That ball was going to be on frame. It was inside the far post. So good save from Gleason. Sekcheri, if he's able to get anything that directs it to the left half of the goal, Gleason had already committed to the other post.
Herrera curls this one in and cleared out by Vukovic. But Eagles managed to maintain possession. Thompson up to Greer. Now Guzman. Leathers over to Noonan. And Bartolome coming forward with a deflection. And that's going to be off of Herrera for the Republic throw-in. Taken into Merkovich. Clementa. Thompson. Back to Vukovic.
You see Charlotte rotating guys through the midfield and forward positions as Boggs picks off a sloppy pass from Daly.
Boggs with Sekcheri and help coming in. And that's going to be another foul on the Eagles just outside the box.
These are the moments, we talk about it every week. You get these set piece opportunities. These are the ones you got to make count. So far, Sacramento's been the better team in possession. Charlotte's been pinned in for spells of the game, unable to keep the ball. You get the ball into a spot like this. You get Guzman and Herrera over it. Herrera talking across the field to the bench, looking for some advice maybe on what they want to do here. Not sure what the issue is.
A few moments ago, we saw the ref having a conversation with Nemanja Vukovic, telling him enough's enough. He'll have to play a little more cautiously now. Herrera curls this one in and duck it off the post.
Cherry, actually, I think that ended up getting his head on that one. Came totally free. A great ball from Herrera. Had Gleason beat. Off the upright.
A bad play there. Headed in to Boggs, but Gleason coming out and calmly handling it. A spell of dangerous play there from the Eagles.
Yeah, Charlotte's rotated Newnham into the middle with Guzman. Thompson is slid out wide, whereas he was playing up top. And now they got Cherry playing sort of a recessed forward off of Boggs, who's still stretching the field. Which here for the last couple minutes since they've done that has produced a couple of free kicks. See if they can continue to work some things out of that change in the setup.
Clementa for Sac Republic. Now Thompson, with Thompson defending. And dispossessed by Wells Thompson.
That's twice now that on either side of the field, once on either side of the field, that Tommy Thompson for Republic has been taken down, and I thought probably deserved a free kick and didn't get it on either occasion.
Yeah, I was expecting a whistle on that one. Bartolome trying to chip it over Duckett.
Good footwork from Duckett there to recognize that clever little touch.
Octavio Guzman, the Stewart. Now Juan Guzman for the Eagles. Feeding this one forward, trying to get to Boggs. Vukovic is going to clear it out for the throw-in. Herrera over to take the throw-in. The Leathers instead taking it. Goes back to Greer. He chips this one forward, and Octavio Guzman clears it out for the Republic. Ibikunle for Charlotte. Now Newnham going forward for Cherry. And a nice seal out from Daly to secure the goal kick.
Yeah, this game, Sacramento, you feel like this game is going as they would plan. You get an early goal, you settle in, and you create a game that lacks, honestly, a little bit of bite. Hasn't been a real open game. In the past, when Charlotte's been successful, it's been a fast-paced game. They've taken that out of the Eagles' attack when even the game the other weekend against Dayton, where the Eagles ended up losing, they were really effective and fun to watch in the attack when there was space and they were able to run, and Thompson and Newnham, Herrera were able to get forward at pace. Cherry as well, and you just don't see that tonight. And I think that's not a case of Charlotte not wanting to play that way, but more Sacramento clogging things up in the midfield, being disciplined, getting numbers behind the ball, and not letting Charlotte run and open up the game the way they might like to.
Tommy Thompson moving forward on the wing for the Republic. Bartolome now. Duckett and Newnham coming away. Newnham slipping it in to Wells Thompson. Wells is going to hold up play, wait for some reinforcements. He's just outside the box. Goes back to Juan Guzman. Now Ben Newnham Slipping pass, and he takes a shot and deflected out by Clementa for a corner.
Great little move from Newnham. Sized up Clementa like he was going to swerve it in with his right foot. Cuts it back against the grain and looked like he was going to get there for a clean look. Good footwork by Clementa to get back across the ball and force it into a corner.
Jorge Herrera, free kick specialist for the Eagles, coming over to take the corner. He curls it in, trying to find Sacheri, and that's over behind the goal for a goal kick.
It's twice now that Herrera has picked out Sacheri, who you would not consider to be the ideal target. Certainly not who Sacramento would be thinking that ball is going to go to. And maybe that's part of it, is you get Newnham, Duckett, Greer, Boggs, the guys that would seem to be the better targets on those kind of plays. And then the smaller Sacheri can slip to the near post and come free. Once off the free kick and once off the corner, he was able to get into a good spot and get his head on the ball.
Gleason booming this one in, trying to find Merkovich, but he's unable to connect with it, and it's going to be out of bounds for an Eagle throw-in. Wells Thompson over to Ibikunle. He was trying to thread it through to Sacheri, but cut off by Clementa. Now Merkovich to Bartolome. Bartolome over to Thompson. And Thompson dispossessed. Now Jorge Herrera going forward looking for Sacheri. Headed out by Daly. Johnny Leathers now.
Leathers is a guy I'd like to see the Eagles get a little more involved if they can. He's been quiet out there at the right back position. He's a smart, skillful player who can be a threat to the attack if Charlotte's able to hold the ball up with Sacheri and Boggs and let him release into the attack, but it just hasn't really, the opportunity hasn't created itself for him too much yet.
Sacheri going over to Wells Thompson. And Thompson looking to cross this one in, but cleared out by Daly. Duckett going into one, Guzman. And Guzman over to Leathers, who's a former Whitecaps player. And Leathers trying to find Herrera. Vukovic back to Gleason, and Gleason clears this one out. Bartolome keeping it in play.
Well done there to keep possession. I don't think Charlotte expected that, and now you've got the midfield caught forward.
Alvarez slipping it into Stewart. And dangerous ball there, but Bartolome's shot goes over the goal for a goal kick. A bit of a sloppy, panicked defending there from Duckett and Greer.
I think looked like a couple of the Republic players were saying that ball may have come off of Bartolome and then back off of Leathers' arm. There was an appeal for a handball there for a second. Not much of one, but I don't think there was anything, if it did in fact hit his arm, anything that Leathers would have known about it. So the ball had just slipped past him.
Now Alvarez for the Republic. It's got Thompson and Stewart. And that's going to be out of bounds for a goal kick. Juan Guzman forcing the error. on Alvarez's part.
Good work by Ibakunle and Guzman to stretch that out, not give Alvarez many options, run him away from the goal.
Alec Can taking his time, trying to distribute this one over to Thompson. Finds Thompson, but eventually finds its way into the Republic possession. Now Octavio Guzman. And that's going to be a foul on Ben Noonan for the rash tackle.
And it's Mirkovic that's a little slow to get back to his feet. The Dixon Field turf isn't always the kindest on those falls.
It rarely is. Now Clementa. Nice of Clementa to keep it going. Now Stewart. Duckett going one-on-one. Now back to Mirkovic and Daly. Boggs coming up to hassle Daly. And Mirkovic clears it, finds Bartolome. But then Clementa is going to be called for a foul as he pulled down Wells Thompson.
And the ref
trying to talk to him. Yeah, trying to talk to him. Clementa wasn't wanting to.
Ball back in play here. 6 minutes and left in the normal time of the first half.
Wells Thompson waiting for reinforcements. Finds Ibakunle. Plays it back to Thompson. And won away by Octavio Guzman.
Well read there, stepping in the midfield. Pick that off.
Duckett coming over and gathering.
It's a good thought by Stewart off of a few quick passes in and out by Sacramento, but nobody releasing into that space down the right side.
Noonan with the back pass to Can. He goes over to Talani Ibakunle. Now Juan Guzman. Trying to chip it forward for Boggs, but a little miscommunication there. And Jake Gleason's going to come over and corral it.
A little too much of that miscommunication, I'm sure, for Coach Steffen's liking here from the Eagles in the first half. No real rhythm that they've been able to create, sustain attacks. A couple of decent looks that have come out of this, winning balls quickly in the midfield, and then getting at Sacramento while they're stretched. But against a set defense, Eagles struggling to really maintain much possession, create many chances.
And Clementa feeding this one through to Stewart. Now Clementa again. Alvarez going over to Tommy Thompson, and Avician keeping that one in play. Back to Thompson. And foul going to be called on Jorge Herrera. Free kick for the Sac Republic. Republic getting kind words today from MLS Commissioner Don Garber, saying he was impressed with Warren Smith and the organization.
Now the Republic have been drawing huge crowds for their home games and playing good soccer, getting points.
And they make no secrets about it. Being an MLS club is their ultimate goal.
So far, so good this first season.
Curled in, but curled a little too much as it goes out for a goal kick.
Vukovic had come up from his center back position. He was clearly the target there and just missed on that service. Yeah, tonight's game, the only game on the USL Pro slate. A little Monday Night Football.
I'm not sure we can say that. NBC or ESPN might not be happy.
The real football.
Yeah. Not the sport played with your hands and occasionally with your feet.
Yeah, so for those of you out there trying to get your World Cup fix, going through withdrawals, this game's lacked a little bit of flair and speed to it, but it's still interesting, still definitely something in it there for the Eagles. After giving up an early goal, neither team's really asserted a ton of dominance in the game. Opportunities there for both sides, but in between, just a lot of this, just swinging it around the back. Honestly, it looks like two teams that played tough games on Saturday.
And that would explain it, because these two teams did play extremely tough games, both on the road, in hostile environments.
And both probably a little disappointed with their results. Certainly the Republic, after being ahead, to give up 2 goals to Matthew Delicott. And so we're going to get, I think, our first card of the game.
And going to be given to Juan Guzman.
For a tackle, I believe that was on Stewart or Bartolome? I think it was Stewart that he took down there on the far sideline. So Guzman goes in the book in the 45th minute.
Not a huge surprise to see Guzman in the book with a yellow. As Thompson trying to take the quick throw in, but Alvarez called him off. Alvarez takes it into Thompson. Thompson goes into the box. We're going to have 1 minute of stoppage time. Probably just for the J.J. Greer injury.
Sure.
That's the only.
Yeah, and then the goal and a card, but minimal stoppage for those two things.
Boggs takes the throw in quickly. Herrera's first touch goes awry. Now Stewart just trying to clear it forward. J.J. Greer.
Yeah, Stewart there, I think, just getting his team to halftime with the lead. No nonsense.
And he accomplished it, as that's going to be halftime. Sac Republic with a 1-0 lead off of a Tommy Stewart goal in the 9th minute. We're going to take a quick 15-minute break for halftime. We'll be back for a hopefully a little more exciting
Let's hope
second half. Stay with us.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles. Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.
Well, sports ministry is like the gospel in action. You're able to speak the gospel, but you're also able to be an example on the field and doing something that you love.
Soccer is the #1 sport in the world. You can go anywhere, all you need is a ball. It's the perfect tool, in my mind, to share the gospel.
So many people in so many different cultures play sports, and soccer is probably the biggest because it's all around the world.
I think my favorite thing is actually playing matches against other teams, and then afterwards getting to share with them.
Being able to show the love of God while you're playing, and more so afterwards when you're able to talk with people one-on-one or even to a crowd, explaining why you're doing what you're doing.
Have those intentions of, okay, I'm going to use this not for myself but to benefit others. God just takes that and just expands it and just blows it up bigger than you could ever imagine.
Training is a core part of what we do to accomplish our mission, a season of training to prepare players for a lifetime of service.
We try to do what we call sports ministry training, where we're training our men to take their faith and put it on the field. That's through transformation.
Going through the material, the sports ministry training material, of just kind of a theology of sports ministry and learning more deeper about how God wants us to be in the context of sport.
That's the standard advice that you're going to have, right?
We all enjoy the game. I love to coach, I love to play. All these guys are driven, they're competitive, but investing in these guys on the spiritual side, that's what I get excited about, and that I get to do it within the environment of soccer.
It's a phenomenal place to grow. From the staff around you, to the opportunities you get, to the leadership you can provide for the team, the perfect place to be as an athlete.
I love being a part of, I guess, just a Christian organization that is so fired up about God and using soccer as their ministry.
There are a lot of guys that are really serious about growing spiritually, and I've been mentored by several so far already.
I was challenged to not only improve myself on the field, I was able to grow in certain things off the field as well. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without the organization altogether.
Being at camp with kids, I felt more alive than I've ever felt.
As we try to teach kids how to play soccer to get better, we also share Christ with them, which is our main purpose here.
This Camp of 200 is being led by 2 of our student leaders, and they're doing an excellent job giving them a practical experience in leadership.
Over in Japan, we do clinics for kids as well as playing different university teams. And even though there's a language barrier, playing soccer always helps break it down. And
I mean, especially when we go to Brazil, it's Portuguese as the language and then soccer. And immediately the kids just respond to us because we play soccer, we invest in their lives, and now they're open to hear about the gospel.
You go across the country and you pick up a ball, and within 10 minutes you have 50 to 100 kids surrounding you, and so just knowing that it can easily build relationships. And
how one sport, how one soccer ball and a smile can unite 2 teams who can't even communicate because we don't even understand each other. It's hard to describe, and being a part of it has been such a blessing.
I was really feeling that we were supposed to live alongside people, to move into neighborhoods, to move into cities that need Christ's light, and just let Christ's Spirit flow through us there.
Sports ministry, being a sports minister, brought us into the neighborhood. We were using soccer to build relationships with the kids through soccer practice and playing soccer out on the field.
My heart is to see this whole community transformed by God's love. And so it started with us rolling out a soccer ball 2 years ago and bringing a couple snacks. And so we'd play soccer for an hour, hour and a half.
We are to have deep relationships with the families here and serve in whatever place that you can.
They're equipped to go take what they've learned and duplicate it, replicate it in another culture, back at their college team, wherever they go to coach. But we hope that by the time they spent the summer with us, they're empowered to go out and change the world and make life changers.
And so we just want to be intentional through a motivating platform that draws youth, it's a magnet to youth, to provide that platform to be able to share that message of hope with the youth of the world.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.
Camps with the Charlotte Eagles is the craziest, most insane thing that you'll ever love.
We teach them skills of the day.
We work on passing, shooting.
We try to have as professional of teaching as we can. We have fun days like Wacky Wednesday and Jersey Thursday. We have contests every morning and prizes, and we just have a blast.
It's so much bigger than the game of soccer.
Soccer camp, a place that you wouldn't really expect them to get Jesus, we can give it to them. It's just a way where we can love kids and we can teach them about the Lord and about how much He loves them.
They're all about the soccer, and then they love the Bible time.
The Elite Camp, we basically try and take our normal camps but step it up a notch. So Elite Camp, we try to pick up the quality, choose more challenging drills, and really try and push the kids athletically to see if they can improve and learn something new.
All girls camp is really fun. Guys aren't allowed. If any guys come close to the fence, they start screaming, "No boys allowed."
I've never seen more kids that have been more encouraging. Running up, telling each other good job, giving high fives, it's really been a cool thing.
But at these camps, you know, the coaches really care about your kids.
But we take it very seriously, the instruction that hopefully they grow as a player in soccer. We come and we grow them as soccer players, as athletes, but also just as people. Things like honesty and sportsmanship.
How much can we invest in these kids' lives for the short period of time that we have?
There's tons of kids, tons of energy, and God works miracles through that week.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.
Well, sports ministry is like the gospel in action. You're able to speak the gospel, but you're also able to be an example on the field and doing something that you love.
Soccer is the #1 sport in the world. You can go anywhere, all you need is a ball. It's the perfect tool, in my mind, to share the gospel.
So many people in so many different cultures play sports, and soccer is probably the biggest because it's all around the world.
I think my favorite thing is actually playing matches against other teams, and then afterwards getting to share with them.
Being able to show the love of God while you're playing, and more so afterwards when you're able to talk with people one-on-one or even to a crowd, explaining why you're doing what you're doing.
Have those intentions of, okay, I'm going to use this not for myself but to benefit others, God just takes that and just expands it and just blows it up bigger than you could ever imagine.
Training is a core part of what we do to accomplish our mission, a season of training to prepare players for a lifetime of service.
We try to do what we call sports ministry training, where we're training our men to take their faith and put it on the field. That's through transformation.
Going through the material, the sports ministry training material, of just kind of a theology of sports ministry and learning more deeper about how God wants us to be in the context of sport.
That's the standard advice that you're going to have.
We all enjoy the game. I love to coach, I love to play. All these guys are driven, they're competitive, but investing in these guys on the spiritual side, that's what I get excited about, and that I get to do it within the environment of soccer.
It's a phenomenal place to grow. From the staff around you, to the opportunities you get, to the leadership you can provide for the team, the perfect place to be as an athlete.
I love being a part of, I guess, just a Christian organization that is so fired up about God and using soccer as their ministry.
There are a lot of guys that are really serious about growing spiritually, and I've been mentored by several so far already.
I was challenged to not only improve myself on the field, I was able to grow in certain things off of the field as well. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without the organization altogether.
Being at camp with kids, I felt more alive than I've ever felt.
As we try to teach kids how to play soccer, to get better, we also share Christ with them, which is our main purpose here.
This camp of 200 is being led by two of our student leaders, and they're doing an excellent job giving them a practical experience in leadership.
Over in Japan, we do clinics for kids as well as playing different university teams. And even though there's a language barrier, playing soccer always helps break it down. And
I mean, especially when we go to Brazil, it's Portuguese as the language and then soccer. And immediately the kids just respond to us because we play soccer, we invest in their lives, and now they're open to hear about the gospel.
You go across the country and you pick up a ball, and within 10 minutes you have 50 to 100 kids surrounding you. And so just knowing that it can easily build relationships.
And how one sport, how one soccer ball and a smile can unite two teams who can't even communicate because we don't even understand each other. It's hard to describe, and being a part of it has been such a blessing.
I was really feeling that we were supposed to live alongside people, to move into neighborhoods, to move into cities that need Christ's light, and just let Christ's Spirit flow through us there.
Sports ministry, being a sports minister, brought us into the neighborhood. We were using soccer to build relationships with the kids through soccer practice and playing soccer out on the field.
My heart is to see this whole community transformed by God's love. And so it started with us rolling out a soccer ball 2 years ago and bringing a couple snacks. And so we'd play soccer for an hour, hour and a half.
We are to have deep relationships with the families here and serve in whatever place that you can.
But they're equipped to go take what they've learned and duplicate it, replicate it in another culture, back at their college team, wherever they go to coach. But we hope that by the time they spent the summer with us, they're empowered to go out and change the world and make life changers.
And so we just want to be intentional through a motivating platform that draws youth. It's a magnet to youth, to provide that platform to be able to share that message of hope with the youth of the world.
Two substitutions to tell you about for the Eagles. Got Darren Toby and Drew Yates coming on for Ben Noonan and
Wells Thompson
Wells
going to be the other one coming off. Yeah.
I completely drew a blank.
So Yates, an attacking midfielder, forward option that's I think will insert some life into the Eagles' attack. An aggressive player, good on the dribble. We'll look to link up with Darren Toby, who's going to slide into the center forward position based on how they've used him the last few times. So that pushes Zach Boggs out wide to where Thompson had been playing. Thompson and Noonan out on the left. Boggs, I did like the way Boggs was aggressive, chasing down plays, making things difficult on the center backs and the goalkeeper for Sacramento. See if he can get up and down the flank a little bit, use his pace, his aggressiveness. And then Toby's going to be a hold-up player, get the ball, trying to allow Yates, Sickcherry, those guys to come forward into the attack.
Kind of playing a false 9 position.
And see, if he can link up with the other Eagles through the middle. Doesn't appear to be any changes for Sacramento as we get underway here in the second half.
Back to Daly. And Merkovich. And Daly going forward, trying to find Bartolome. Unable to, and back to Can. Can is one of 2 players on loan from the Chicago Fire playing for the Eagles. The other is Giuseppe Gentile, who's not listed tonight. Toby, dangerous run there. Boggs, now Herrera, playing it over to Leathers. Herrera slipping it into Darren Toby. Now Sicheri with the 360, but dispossessed by Daly.
Great tackle by Daly off of one of the better spells of attack for the Eagles there in the game. Right off the bat, getting Leathers involved. We're asking for that in the first half. Able to swing the ball around, get him into a more advanced position. Toby already, you can see him holding the ball up, combining at the top of the box. Sickcherry's move nearly came off for him. Not for a good tackle from Daly. Could have turned that 360 into a look at goal.
Bartolome taking the throw in. Alvarez managing to keep it in. That's going to be out of bounds off of Boggs. Bartolome taking the throw in again. Sicheri, a nice bit of skill, keep possession, but gives it away. Now Tommy Thompson is trying to feed it through to Stewart, but it cleared out by Duckett.
Good run from Stewart, nearly slipped through by Thompson. Duckett needed to be aware there to cut that out.
Octavio Guzman going over to Clementa. Clementa's shot, no danger, wide of the post, going to be a goal kick.
Guzman and Merkovich there at the 2 holding midfielders for Sac Republic, really doing a good job controlling the flow of the game. Good distribution, good reading of play. Really controlling the game well for Sacramento.
Bartolome coming up. Clementa racing over. Boggs defending on Clementa. Slips it into Stewart. Now Octavio Guzman.
It's about as far forward as we've seen him yet in the game.
Guzman, kind of the jack of all trades for Sac Republic FC. And cleared out by Leathers. Avician. Thompson. Back to Avician. Vukovic. And Duckett stepping up, but now Octavio Guzman goes over to Stewart. Ibikunle defending on Stewart. Back to Octavio Guzman. He tried to cross it in, but deflected off of Sacheri's head. Fred making sure he still knows where he's at.
Hopefully he's in better shape than Kramer from Germany yesterday in that match.
I read an article today that he doesn't remember anything after his clash with Garay.
Couldn't believe they let him stay in the game.
Oh, bad header there. And going to be a foul and a free kick, quickly taken. Kramer unfortunate to miss out on that, and it's got to be even worse. It's almost adding insult to it is adding insult to injury. The fact that he doesn't remember celebrating.
Remember the World Cup final that you were part of. Well, there's plenty of pictures and video.
Yeah.
For him to go back and relive it. Nothing to show for it in front of goal, but I think some better ideas getting forward from the Eagles. Some diagonal balls into the corners to release runners into, see if they can open up Sacramento.
But now Alvarez moving forward on the counter. And cut off by Greer, but Tommy Thompson getting back to it. Avician into Merkovich. Now Octavio Guzman. Stewart. Guzman cleared out, though, by Ibikunle. Toby battling. And foul called on Drew Yates, pushing foul. As he came in, and Merkovich ended up on the ground. Vukovic takes it over to Merkovich. Avician. Thompson.
You can see Charlotte trying to press, Guzman trying to get over with Herrera, but Sacramento not giving away possession easily, able to get out of that space. Do end up giving up the ball there, but did well to get out of the pressure that Charlotte was looking to create.
Guzman trying to find Herrera, instead finds Avician, who moves forward.
Both teams leaving some long balls short, opportunities to get people into space and just not able to get the ball there.
And this shot deflected by Duckett and going to go out of bounds for the corner. First corner of the second half will be Max Alvarez trotting over to take it.
Yeah, I don't know if those long balls are being left short, just some tired legs coming off of Saturday's game, or if that's a product of trying to play the ball off of the turf. But yeah, there's been several balls that have been left short.
Alvarez curls this one in, headed out by Herrera. But now Avician with the ball at his feet, goes over to Clementa. Yates. That's going to be a throw-in. Off of Yates, going to be a throw-in for Sac Republic. Now Thompson. Shot. Diving save from Alec Can. Good idea from Thompson.
Yeah, did well to hold that ball up, turn, get it onto his left foot. Caught all of it, hit it well enough. Just a little close to Khan.
Alvarez. And another foul called on Drew Yates. Got to be pushing his limits before he is handed a yellow. Now Vukovic.
He's trying to provide, though, what Charlotte, you feel like, needs in this game right now. Some energy, some emotion, somebody trying to put some pressure, apply some pressure, win the ball back higher up the field.
Boggs slipping past Clementa. Clementa catching up with him. Boggs trying to dance around. Finds Ibakunle, who sends it into the box. Got Sacheri. Now Toby's shot blocked and cleared out by Clementa.
Great knockdown from Sacheri. Presence of mind there in the box to just nod that little header to Toby, who had time to clean it, but then Daly, I think it was, able to get across and block the shot, but a little better. Boggs getting down the line, using his pace, getting behind the Sac Republic defense. Now can the Eagles sustain some pressure like that? In order to get back in this game, you feel like it's going to need to happen more than once every 5 minutes on a counterattack.
It's Alvarez slipping this one into Stewart. And it's going to be out of bounds.
Good recovery from Ibakunle there, recognizing that ball coming central. They're going to give a corner kick here.
Sac Republic and Charlotte both thought that was going to be a goal kick.
I was just going to say, sometimes the players will call the game for you as a ref when everyone turns and leaves the penalty box, goes back to like it's a goal kick. Sometimes that's a cue for the ref.
Alvarez is over to take the corner. Clementa and Vukovic headed out. Now Visian. One away. Back to Merkovic. Ibakunle. Now Clementa. He takes a shot. It's deflected off of Duckett, who comes up a little lame.
Took that one off the end of his foot. Feel that one in your ankle for a few minutes. You should be able to run that off, though, but it's going to be Ginger here trying to defend that corner on it. That ball really could have gone anywhere. Alacan had already committed to the far post. If that ball had spun off Duckett's foot in the near post, could have been dangerous.
Alvarez sends it in. Now Thompson. And cleared out eventually by Duckett. Visian tracking back.
Got Winger here, hanging out with the kids, keeping the orange flag flying high.
Hashtag.
What are your hashtags for the Eagles? Following the Eagles on Twitter.
Hashtag OFFH, orange flag flying high. Hashtag CE93, Charlotte Eagles, and the year they were founded, 1993. And then if you want to follow the Lady Eagles, hashtag LE00.
And the Charlotte Lady Eagles coming off a 2-1 win against the Carolina Elite Cobras on Saturday. 2-1 victory puts them in the Southeast Division Championship match against the
Gulf Coast
Texans. Yeah, this coming Saturday here in Charlotte at Dixon Field.
It'll be 7 o'clock. Lady Eagles back home in the playoffs after missing out last year. Competition in the Southeast Conference has really stepped up in the past few years. It used to just be Atlanta Silverbacks women and the Lady Eagles, but now with the addition of Dayton Dutch Lions, the ladies' side, and Carolina Elite Cobras, and now the Gulf Coast Texans, it's conference that is up for grabs for anybody at the beginning of each season. Oh, bad pass there from Ibakunle. And that shot off the fingertips of Alec Can. Going to be a corner. Dangerous shot there from Chad Bartolome.
You got all of that one. Not sure whether, wasn't sure that Khan got a touch on it or not. Don't know that it would have been in if he hadn't, but that ball was really well struck and just missed the crossbar.
Got the big men, Clemente and Vukovic, coming in. Alvarez curls this one in. Headed on goal by Vukovic. But not any trouble for Alec Can.
To finish the thought for the Lady Eagles, that game against the Gulf Coast Texans is coming Saturday at 7. Winner goes to Tampa for the W League Final Four. So a lot on the line there. If you're in town, come out, support the Lady Eagles.
You can get your tickets at charlotteeagles.com. And we'll also have the live stream going for you here on Charlotte Eagles SC on YouTube. Of course, you know that because you're watching us on YouTube.
The Lady Eagles, one of the few teams in the W League that are broadcasting games on YouTube this year.
That's just how we roll.
Appreciate Jeremy Oyer, Ben Ressler, Andrew Pierce, the other guys in the front office here for the Eagles making that possible.
That shot from Alvarez.
The game's starting to open up a little bit here. Sacramento getting a little bit of run at the Eagles' back line. Not necessarily a bad thing if the game opens up a little. Might create some opportunities for Charlotte getting forward. Haven't seen Yates involved a ton.
Got a few substitutions. David Gino is in for Zach Boggs. And Matt Gold is in for Juan Guzman. Matt Gold going to be stepping in, playing Guzman's defensive midfield position. Gold played that position in college at Ohio State, but since he's been with the Eagles, he's played a center back position because that's where the need has been. But with J.J. Greer stepping up lately, he can slide back into his old position. Also, for Sac Republic,
it was
Chad Bartolome.
Justin Brown. Yeah, Justin Brown coming in to replace Bartolome.
Thompson trying to curl that one in and almost connected with Brown. But Alec Can intercepting it.
Can looking for Gino, headed away. Alvarez mixing it up with Ibakunle. Ref awards Eagles the throw in.
Darren Toby dancing around. Finds Cherry.
That's Toby's game, though. If you can give him decent service, he has an excellent ability to hold off defenders, doesn't mind the contact, can hold the ball up, excellent passer. I think that'd be something that the Eagles would be looking to do a bit more of.
That's going to be headed out by Daly. Throw in for the
game still looking for a spark, still looking for something to bring a little life to it.
Toby trying to cross it in. Gino was there and got a touch on, but wasn't able to do anything with it.
Toby got his ball through, and it found Gino, who actually tried to lay that back to Yates. Clever little touch, but couldn't connect it.
Duckett cutting that one off. Greer now moving forward.
Needed to win that one, where Stewart was going to be in behind.
Now Gold switching it up, going over to Herrera. And Herrera's first touch, a little bit too much on it.
Don't say that often, but that was a good opportunity. That was a great ball by Gold. Herrera's touch did let him down a little heavy from the Colombian.
Avician going all the way back to Gleason. Gleason going over to Clementa.
That's a great ball. There's a great first touch.
Gino, the man on with Clementa. And one away by Tolani. Now Yates. Leathers. That's a Cherry going over, trying to find Gino. And now Matt Gold.
A little better from the Eagles here. See if they can build on this. Get the ball into some dangerous spaces. Get some service off for Yates and Toby. Finding a little bit of rhythm here.
So Cherry finding Leathers. And Leathers decides to take a shot. And it curls, and there's no danger, Gleason.
Gleason, an unlikely guy to float from 30 yards like that. His reach, I think Leathers picked his head up and saw him a bit too far off his line.
It's going to be out of bounds, Eagle throw in. Matt Gold, Ibikunle now. Gold goes back to Greer. And now Leathers.
I like what Gold's given the Eagles in the midfield. Moving the ball quickly, moving well to support teammates, give guys easy options off the ball, helping build the ball a little better.
Yates throwing it through to Leathers. Leathers slipping past Avician and squares it with the goal, cleared out. But now Sacheri takes a shot, no danger as Merkovich, and Gold's shot goes over the back netting.
Better though from the Eagles, some build-up play, freeing up Leathers out wide right. Great little hesitation, lean left, push it right, gets up the end line. Ball could have gone anywhere on his cutback. Sacramento able to get a toe on it, put it away, but then two good looks, one by Saccheri, another by Gold from the top of the box. About as good a look as Charlotte's come up with tonight.
Saccheri losing it away to Tommy Thompson. And then that's going to be a foul on Johnny Leathers. Leathers is one of the two former Furman Paladins on the field for the Eagles, the other being Alec Can. Furman, of course, produced men's national team superstar Clint Dempsey. Alvarez curls this one and it's headed out by Sacheri. Now Gino heading it over to Herrera. And he tries to lob this one in.
Great ball. What a touch.
And now Gino dancing with Mirkovic. Now Herrera trying to dance his way through. Ref playing advantage with Yates. Now Gold. And toe poked out by Daly.
Wow.
Guzman.
Well done by Duckett there. Excellent touch. You know, there was one in the corner here in the first half where we felt like Thompson got knocked off the ball and didn't get the call. So you could say 1 for 1, but that ball was in a really dangerous spot. I don't think it was inside the box. I believe it was just outside, but that's a really dangerous spot for a free kick that I think Herrera deserved. But that's Thompson's had a couple that he felt like he should have had for Sacramento. And I think Herrera was kind to the ref to not give him any grief. Shows the class Herrera plays with, just gets up, goes about his business.
Leathers trying to feed it through to Toby. Cut off by Vukovic. Toby, Herrera. That's going to be cut off by Clementa. And now Brown. Showing a lot of pace.
Well taken by the keeper. Brown, yeah, I think caught Ibekunle in the Eagles' back line a little off guard with that pace. He just pushed the ball out of his feet and was able to give himself a good line at the service.
Sacheri crossing over, unable to connect with Gino, and we're going to have a couple of substitutions here. Alvarez is going to come off for Sac Republic, being replaced by Chad Bond. Jorge Herrera is going to be substituted off for the Eagles, and Mario Gomez is going to come on. And Octavio Guzman is coming off for Sac Republic. And replacing him is going to be Steve Evan. Ooh, caught Vukovic off guard a little bit there. Now Thompson. Ibekunle defending. And that's going to be a goal kick. Thompson not happy about that.
Love the attitude he plays with, though. He works his tail off all over the field, up and back, aggressive, plays with confidence. He's fun to watch. It's the kind of guy that you just hope you don't get matched up against. Not that he's the most special player on the field, but he's going to make you work for 90 minutes.
Yates, Mirkovic defending. Now Gold, Sacheri. Back to Yates. Goes back to Ibekunle. And cut off by Mirkovic. And it's going to be a foul called on Chelani Ibekunle.
And it's Thompson on the ground again, battling for every ball.
And Mirkovic is on the ground, cramping.
Yeah, his hamstring started to cramp up there.
Vukovic was signaling to Preki to send in the trainers and try to get a substitution for him. For Mirkovic, not for Vukovic. Mirkovic is saying no thanks.
He's going to try and continue, but still 16, 17 minutes left of normal time here in this match. They've just subbed Guzman at one of the center midfield positions. If Mirkovic's cramps continue and they have to go for him, they've already used Steve Evan in the midfield.
Only midfielders left are Chad Bond and Gilberto Sousa.
And Bond just came on here to play the wide midfield position, so it'd have to be Sousa.
Evan finding Brown. Crossing it over, looking for Bond. And poked out. Solid clearance. Great recovery from Johnny Leathers there. And now dangerous is Gino.
That was Gomez on the far side. Christian Gomez, Mario Gomez, his first real involvement in the game.
And not the Mario Gomez that plays for the German national team.
Nice. A little smaller.
A little smaller. He's a lot smaller.
A lot smaller, but with a really good left foot, Gomez will be a threat as Greer goes through the back of Stewart there. Gomez, though, a Colombian, so that was Colombian for Colombian, him coming on for Herrera. He does have the ability to strike from range, put in a great ball with his left foot, so that'll be something Coach Steffens will be asking him to provide. They're here for these last 15 minutes.
Bond playing it back. Now Brown. Thompson. Duckett defending. Deflected off of Duckett. Brown collects it. Thought about turning and shooting. Played it back to Mirkovic. Now Stewart. And cleared over the goal by J.J. Greer.
Brown has been pretty active since he's come in the game here in the second half.
He's added a spark that Sac Republic had been lacking, as Bartolome had kind of faded from the game later in the second half. So Preki deciding to bring on Brown. Bond send this one in. Headed out of immediate danger by Drew Yates. Vician Daly sending it forward, looking for Thompson. Thompson over to Brown. And that shot.
Well hit.
Was Steve Evan with the shot. And Alec Cann's distribution cut off by Bond. Misplay from the young keeper. Avician playing it back. Bond to Brown. Thompson.
Good bit of skill there.
And Brown going to be called offside.
It was unfortunate for Sacramento. That was a good little sequence of passes there across the top of the Eagles penalty box. Thompson with a clever pull back behind his standing leg and slipped a good ball in for Brown, who got a little ahead of himself, got behind the back line.
Don't forget, for score, stats, news, and more, everything you could possibly want to know about USL Pro is on uslprosoccer.com. Go ahead and like the league fan page on Facebook. That's facebook.com/USLPro. And give them a follow on Twitter at USLPro. And speaking of Twitter, Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
So now you see Ibakunle, number 15, playing up top for the Eagles. Played left back the whole match. Coach Steffens adding numbers to the attack last 12-15 minutes of the match here. So I'll ask Duckett to play the left side of the defense with Greer central and Leathers on the right. So 3 across the back. Now Ibakunle, Yates, Toby playing up top.
Yates pushing forward, sending it back to Gold, and couldn't control it. Now Brown playing it back to Evan. Brown now. Flick back to Merkovich, now over to Vukovic. Avician, Vukovic.
Really impressive by Sacramento here, just taking the air out of the ball, really working Charlotte defensively, not allowing them to get any rhythm going forward. They've been first to this kind of ball all night.
Gleason calling off Vukovic. Sac Republic thinking it might have been a foul on Merkovich.
Gomez certainly came through with a strong tackle from behind Merkovich. I think he got the ball first, but coming from that angle, you wouldn't be surprised if the ref had called that at all.
Always dangerous coming from behind. Toby, Gino, Ibakunle, Gino trying to cross it. And now Bond cut off by Gold, though. Gold plays it to Greer. Greer cut off by Clementa. Now Brown. Back to Clementa, who goes all the way back to Gleason.
Now I'm thinking about a game, I believe it was at the very beginning of last season, where Charlotte was playing Orlando City. Down 1-0 all the way till the end. Never really threatened Orlando significantly. Nate Thornton pops up in the 90th minute, kind of turning nothing into something, getting an equalizer for the Eagles. I feel like that's what it might take tonight. Just one guy and a moment of effort, hustle, fighting for a ball. Because it doesn't seem that it's going to come out of the flow of beautiful soccer that they're going to create the equalizer here. Just a one moment of either brilliance or passion. A lot of hands on knees, hands on hips.
Substitution for Sac Republic. Tommy Thompson's coming off, and coming on is going to be number 14, Adam John.
Tommy Thompson put in a full shift tonight.
He played 90 minutes of soccer in only 82 minutes.
That's a good way of putting it. Yep. He got his money's worth out of the 82 minutes he was given. You can see Sacramento in no hurry here. Final 10 minutes. Gonna take some time on restarts, throw-ins.
Toby coming up with that. Now Gold cut off by Clementa, who clears it out for the Eagle throw-in.
I think Charlotte's been a little more successful when that ball to Gold, they've been able to turn it and find either Sekcheri or Leathers coming out the other side. There's more space on this near side of the field.
And Gilberto Souza is coming on for Tommy Stewart.
So that means Precky's counting on Merkovich making it the rest of the way.
Merkovich, the only midfielder or forward who hasn't been substituted off. And that's going to be a foul. and a likely card, and it is yellow card for Fred Sacheri for that tackle on Brown.
Again, Sacramento's going to take their time here, ask the ref where the ball should be placed. Be in no hurry, play something safe. Clock now the enemy of Charlotte as we approach the final 5 minutes.
Mirkovic. Gilberto Souza over to Clementa. Back to Souza. Now Brown. Gilberto trying to thread it through. It's going to be out of bounds off of Leathers for the throw-in.
And Charlotte's put Ibakunle further forward, changed their shape, but you don't sense a lot of a raise in the energy level or a lot of increased passion here to fight and get this goal back. Let's see if Gomez can make something happen.
He finds Duckett, and Duckett crossing the field. Ibakunle winning the aerial battle, but unable to do anything with it. Now Bond chipping it forward. Greer back to Can. And Duckett over to Greer.
That's why Ibakunle is up there. You saw that long diagonal ball from Duckett. Ibakunle was able to get his head on. That's what they're looking for, is if they can target him and he can nod the ball back across the box, maybe Yates or Gomez or Toby, Gino can get on the end of it. Adam John giving that one away.
Gomez connecting with Gino. Gold. Mirkovic winning the header, and Bond just sending it forward.
Duckett going big again, seeing if they can get the knockdowns or a flick on. Sacramento's been pretty solid in the back, hasn't allowed much behind them all night. Ibakunle will go across the field, though. It looks like to take the throw. So they'll load up the box here, get Duckett forward.
Gold and Sacheri not far behind.
This is an opportunity. It's a chance.
And into the box it goes.
Couple of shouts for a handball there, but I don't think there's any way Daly could have known anything about it. His arm was by his side. It came off of Duckett's head off the flick, but I think the right call and no call there.
Now Gilberto over to Bond. Yates, Ibakunle.
Just nothing happening, going forward for Charlotte. And really, they need to be getting pressure on the ball here the last 2 minutes of the match. If you want to get the goal back, you got to put Sacramento under some kind of pressure. Gomez working hard to get over there and double team the Sacramento player. Brown there in the corner, putting him under.
Played back, but cut off by Sacheri. Gold now over to Ibakunle. Gilberto coming on.
Really, Sacramento is fine with that. Charlotte has the ball that deep.
Gold.
Can that get through?
And
nearly fell for
cleared
Gomez.
Out. That's going to be a corner, I
call
believe.
it a throw in.
Throw in.
Waving his hands over his head for a throw in. Still Ibakunle with the big throw will try and give Charlotte a chance.
Throw in taken. Duckett trying to connect. Yates. Gino there.
Nearly. Had two. Vukovic, excellent job off his own, inside his own 6-yard box. Had Toby and Gino to deal with. Found a way to get it away from goal.
We're going to have 2 minutes of stoppage time. Ibakunle playing it back to Duckett.
Yeah, ball needs to get forward at this point.
Leathers. And that's going to be off of Leathers for a goal kick.
Gleason again in no hurry. Murkovic encouraging the Republic players on, finish this last minute or so out. So pretty impressed with Sacramento tonight. It didn't seem like and it wasn't the greatest game of soccer you'll ever watch, but if you're Sacramento, you came in, you had a job to do. Make the game slow, not let Charlotte get much rhythm. You're coming off first game of a road trip. You come in, you get some numbers forward, get an early goal, and then just kind of put your foot on the ball. Don't let anything behind you. Compact defensively. Excellent job by Preki and his guys. Worked hard defensively.
And Gleason handling that.
I think Preki will be encouraged, pleased with the effort his guys have put in, the shift they put in tonight.
Greer winning the aerial battle. And that's going to do it. That's going to be the end of the game for us. As Sac Republic come into Charlotte and steal 3 points off of a defensive mistake. Wasn't exactly attractive soccer from either team tonight.
Even the goal, a good finish by Stewart, composed, slid it through the legs of the keeper, but yeah, the goal came off of a deflection, caught Duckett running the wrong way. And then from there, yeah, didn't see Charlotte put a lot together to really be dangerous. Thought Sacramento deserved the 3 points. Good work by them. Catch us on Saturday evening, 7 o'clock, here for the Lady Eagles in the Southeastern Conference Finals. 7 o'clock here at Dixon Field. And then we'll get the men again further down the road.
That's right. For Mitch Sanford, I'm Hunter Banks. Thanks for watching.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.